We don't even need to talk about it unless you really want to get into
Oh, we're
that.
going to. So I did a movie with Logan Paul, and it's been delayed. And I just saw on Pro Revenge why it's been delayed. So let me read this sort of quickly. This guy posted. His people called me about 2 years ago because they wanted to buy my band's Twitter username. I think his Twitter name is Airplane Mode or something like that. They said it was for an upcoming movie called Airplane Mode about people who wouldn't turn off their phones on a flight. I said, no, thank you. I don't really need the money, and I like the name. They pleaded with me, tried to convince me, said the name didn't matter. And they told me that my band was too small to deserve the name. Then they told me I was an idiot for not selling. The offering price, $500, and a tweet from someone named Logan Paul. My honest response at the time was to say that I had no idea who that was, but looking at Twitter, I'm pretty sure we don't want his fans. That's when the call devolved into the guys outright mocking me. Afterwards, I wondered if we should have a trademark conflict, even since the movie was likely to include a soundtrack, which would be covered by our recorded music trademark. So I did a quick search. Turns out nobody on his side ever filed for a trademark on Airplane Mode as the title of a film. So I did. And because of how trademark application works, a tiny technical mistake on my part means that the application can't even be disputed until the review period is up. And I've just been so busy that I keep needing to file extensions, pushing the review period back another 6 months out each time. So
I love it.
So that's why the movie that I did with Logan Paul has not come out yet. So let me say this: I honestly don't like with Ice Poseidon or any of these guys that are seem to be sort of universally hated. I'm never really in the know about why people are hated, but I hung out with Logan for 2 or 3 days on set, and he was extremely gracious to me, very like the way he is online, sort of energetic and happy, and hey man, yeah, it's nice to meet. He's like that in real life, very friendly, very nice and gracious to me. I don't have a bad thing to say about him.
I was in this stupid movie with him, and there's a part where I have to choke him, and I'm choking him, and I'm just like, dude, nobody's gonna believe that I could choke you. You realize? He's like, well, you do have the knife, and I'm like, I don't like my chances. I think you could probably take this away from me, man. He's like, no, that's a big knife. I'm like, you're a big boy. I think you can take this knife away from me. And
whatever happened with that movie?
They cut me out of it, thank God, because I feel like it was not going to be a good look.
Really? So it came out and you were cut out of it?
Yes. I was honestly very happy that I was.
Were you paid for it? Or did you do it as
I got paid whatever the Screen Actors Guild minimum is, which is maybe $600 a day or something like that. I don't remember exactly.
Did you get a Screen Actors Guild card for it or anything?
I think I had to sign up for something. Yeah, I don't remember the specifics, but the Vitaly was the main villain, and I was working with Vitaly to kill everybody that was on the plane. So I think they just cut me out.
The Russian accent.
Oh yeah, it was because Vitaly's also Russian. Well, actually Russian, I should say. and the whole thing was that we were working together to take out all the influencers and YouTubers, and then he turns on me at the end of the movie and kills me. And but no, I was honestly I didn't want to do it to begin with. My what do you call it? YouTube partner thing? Your
network. I owed my network a favor. They just had bought my contract out from Machinima. They had spent 6 figures, well over that, to get me out of that stupid Machinima contract. And they were like, we'd really appreciate it if you do this thing. And I'm like, all right. As long as I don't have to as long as you'll pay for everything, I'll do it. And it was just a hassle. I flew to LA either twice or maybe even 3 times. The first time I flew to LA, stayed at a hotel but in any case, I stayed out there for at least 2 nights, maybe 3. And because movie production and the time schedule was always getting moved around, all that happened was I got measured for my wardrobe. I literally flew to LA, got measured for wardrobe, spent like at least 2 days there, flew back, and then flew back again like maybe a week later or something for my scenes. And I was there for like another like 2 or 3 days or something like that.
So were you upset with that?
Oh, I honestly didn't mind because I was getting a free trip to LA, and all the it's legal weed out there, and I know girls out there, so like I was just once we got my housing situation fixed, because it was like they were bouncing me around to like 2 different shitty places before I made them pay for a nice place. I was in like a pretty nice apartment with like a girl and tons of weed, so I didn't mind. I was right there on like the Walk of Stars or whatever. I know that's a big area, but like I could look down and see hookers and all sorts of crazy nonsense at night down from like the 5th floor, and like smoke weed on the balcony all day and all night when I wasn't filming. So I didn't mind. I like traveling, but no, I was glad that they cut me out, frankly, because I felt like it was just silly. I didn't want to be doing the whole thing at all. I'm like wearing some suit, like running around in an airplane, like having a knife fight with somebody.
Did you feel silly?
Yes, I felt silly. It was goofy. It's goofy. I'm like spitting blood as I get stabbed. Vitaly's like, Vitaly kisses me. Like I just didn't want a clip of me and Vitaly kissing to exist forever. Like
I'm sure it's out there.
But it does. Someone's gonna release it up, and there'll be some guy
the
who's
director's
like
cut
$50 patron sub who's just like, yes, guess what? I actually worked on that film, and I have a safe copy.
It wouldn't be the worst thing, but yeah. I honestly, it was just cool to sort of meet Logan, because I thought he was a nice guy. And what I always say about Logan when he comes up, because for a long time he was getting so much shit because of that Japanese forest thing, was was it like every time I met him or was in a room with him, like he treated me like an equal, and he was cool with me, and he was very polite and nice to me, and like took care of any concerns I had, and I got to meet Farva from Super Troopers. He was also in the movie. I don't know the actor's name, but like I love Super Troopers. So like while I was getting my makeup done, he's like right next to me getting his makeup done. So we had like a 30-minute conversation. So that alone, honestly, was worth the whole ordeal. Just like chilling with Farva for half an hour. Huh?
Was he a friendly guy?
Really friendly. Like he initiated a conversation with me, and I was like, I think I told him I was like, man, I'm a big fan of Super Troopers and the Broken Lizard stuff. Like I grew up with that. It's really cool to meet you. And he was like, oh yeah, thank you. And we talked about the Super Troopers and how they made that movie and stuff like that. And I don't know, it was cool to meet him. Meeting him, like I said, was worth the whole ordeal of the 4 transcontinental flights and all the bullshit.
And getting cut from that wonderful motion picture.
I was so
Was it a full-length picture?
Yeah, I think it was 90 minutes or something like that.
I was like 90 minutes. I
mean, they were in like I don't know a ton about movie production, but like they had a movie studio, and like the movie is filmed on a plane, like almost all of it is, and so like they had like a giant jumbo jet set inside of a movie studio like warehouse, and like I don't know, it's a plane, like
could be worth a bit of money.
I guess. I don't know. It wasn't like this was like a YouTube production where there's like 15 people working on it or something like that. There was hundreds of people there.
Called?
Huh?
What's it called?
Airplane mode, I think.
Airplane? Yeah, okay, that turns me off instantly.
Yeah, because the whole idea was that
so it's like is it a new thing? Because there's like a trailer out at the moment.
Maybe they never released it. Maybe it got tied up. I think they had some kind of legal issue with the name or something at one point.
Here's Airplane Mode, 19th of September 2019, official trailer for 2020.
God, maybe it might still come out.
Imagine if they uncut you. Oh, he's that. I'd said
it'll be fun.
Who's that in the trailer? Who's that chick that got really famous on Instagram?
Oh, is it a really cute small chick?
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
I felt there's a part where I'm restraining her, and I felt uncomfortable.
You felt aroused, is what you meant to say.
I was like, you didn't tell me I was going to have to put my hand over her mouth. I haven't washed my hand all day. I just remember like I've got my hand literally over her mouth, and like I'm thinking like, I wouldn't put my hand over my mouth right now. I would wash my own hand before I ate anything right now, and it's just all over her mouth. And I'm
You
thinking, like,
dirty, dirty girl. No,
I'm
just
watching
me.
this thing out like right now, this trailer, and it's like the airport security is that like they're coming, they raping everybody, like that they cut from the YouTube videos.
So that's the premise of the movie, is that the airplane is full of like YouTube influencers and like Instagram people, and because they're all so like vapid and self-absorbed, they all want to be like on their phones doing their bullshit, and they don't put their phones on airplane mode, and that causes some sort of malfunction, because one phone off of airplane mode won't do anything, but literally 250 of them apparently does, and that's sort of the premise of the movie.
Do you remember back in the day, people used to make songs and mention like 13 YouTubers in the song, hoping they'd get a shout out and just try to earn their own like clout and love off of everybody else.
Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite quote here from the thing. And over 23 of the biggest YouTubers.
That's what they're doing.
Over 23 of them. You might be in one of the deleted screens.
Not over 20.
Oh, deleted scene. Yeah, but that's kind of the point I was getting to. Like, I feel like they made this movie in hopes that it would be popular, not because it's a cinematic masterpiece, but because everybody wants to see X YouTuber.
Of course. They were going to leverage the
fan bases,
Instagrams and Facebooks and just general fan base of all of the people who were in it, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I guess it didn't make money.
In a movie called Manhattan? Mm-mm. Then you have been falsely attributed for a movie from 2013. Because it says you are most known for Manhattan. A 2013 film where you played Julian Rockenberg.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know anything about that.
It's one of the 8 million movies that was recently deleted.
Amanda's Ernie, that's her name.
That may have been the girl I was restraining. I don't remember her name. She was super fucking hot, though. Like, she was like hard to be in the same room with hot.
I have no idea.
Well, he's going to be in airplane mode if they ever figure out the title for that movie and they ever let Logan Paul upload it, now that he decided to pose with that dead Japanese man.
And he really zoomed in on the blue hands. He should have pulled
You've
that
seen
punch.
it.
Yeah. I watched like the middle part of the video. I didn't want to watch like the whole 15-minute thing. But yeah, it was pretty tasteless.
I saw someone, I guess I knew it already, but they talked about why people like Logan Paul, continue to be on YouTube. His audience is huge. Logan Paul and PewDiePie, like if they were to go somewhere, could be the start of a YouTube competitor. Like they would pull enough people with them to have a critical mass that if we jumped on that channel too, we might be way bigger. It would be a huge opportunity to be on like the Logan Paul, PewDiePie, PKA channel.
Like PewDiePie really doesn't he have like 60 million subscribers?
Something like that. I knew he had 50. He may have 60 now.
Something absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
what is he? What is he? I've heard of both of those cats, but I've never watched them. What do they do?
PewDiePie does a lot of different stuff. He does in real life videos. He does video game based stuff where he plays games and his face is in there, and he does funny commentary over it and stuff. So he mixes it up a lot. Logan Paul is.
I saw part of like this, like because people were complaining about it, that little Japanese suicide.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch it just because I was like, I didn't want to see a dead dude.
Yeah.
You don't see that?
Not necessarily, man.
We just showed you a pair of dead goats 15 minutes ago.
We're not for animal rights here, I thought.
Yeah, strong.
Not at all.
They're Japanese. I mean.
Oh, Jesus, not
or
real
suicide
people.
forest rights. Yeah, it's not that it was so grotesque or anything, because like having been on the internet and it's 2018, we've all seen. I say we all, me, Kyle, and Woody. I don't know about Arian. We've seen people be beheaded. We've seen people blown up. Kyle showed me videos on the internet that have blown me away with the disgust level. If you need to know a video, like if I was like, Kyle, is there a video out there of an Asian man feeding an eel into his asshole, and then there's a subsequent shit eruption, Kyle will be like, "Oh, do you want like part A, B, or C? There's actually one for 2012."
Do you want one large eel, or do you want many small eels?
See, and that's not a joke. I guarantee Kyle could pull up 2 different eel-related anal videos.
Mm-hmm.
You should,
So who out here searching for that shit? I don't understand.
Kyle.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus Christ, man. So you like you. So like when I think of like people on the internet who like do crazy shit, like are you one of those people?
mm-hmm.
Kyle is, yeah. His channel, FPS Russia, is the largest gun channel on the internet.
Well,
He's eating
kinda.
chips at. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got these honey roasted cashews. I've eaten pretty much the whole can tonight. These are
Shut up.
delicious.
Shout out to you, man.
And heart healthy, probably.
Yeah, heart healthy. They're covered in sugar. Just covered in sugar. Yeah, the internet is such a wonderful thing because there's no limits, right? So yeah, I like the really fucked up, crazy shit on the internet, and I like being a bit of a provocateur. I'm not into eels coming out of Asian men's asses or anything. That doesn't make me. I mean, it makes me chuckle. It's a good time, but it's not what I would be doing in my spare time if I didn't enjoy exposing people to it and then watching their reaction. That's what I really enjoy. What about you, Filthy? Any celebrity meetings?
Nope.
I met FPS Russia. What's fun is FPS Russia was in the same commercial as who the hell's Iron Man? Help me with his name.
Oh, Robert Downey?
Robert Downey Jr. Kyle was going to let me swing in the wind. I could see him over there. Kyle knows his name. He wanted to see what pronunciation I came up with. So, you know that like 6 degrees of separation? Dude, I'm there, right? Because I'm in a thing with Kyle. Kai's in a thing with Robert Downey Jr. Suddenly the connection comes. I'm like 4 degrees from Trump, you know? Like,
And directed. Hey, it's directed by Guy Ritchie. You're only 1 extra degree away from Madonna now.
See, like because
She's only and she kissed Britney Spears. Keep it going.
And now, Filthy, this is true of you. You've done a thing with Kyle, right? You're as many degrees from Trump as I am. You know, like if you go to Kyle, you go to Robert Downey Jr., and suddenly you're into the web of connected degrees of separation. It's fun.
I expect I'll be fired at any moment.
Yeah, that was really cool. When I heard Guy Ritchie was directing that thing, I was like, I guess they just paid him, and now his name's going to be like in the credits. But no, he's over there. He's in his director's chair. He's coming over. He's like, all right, so the bombs are going to fall on you now. So you hold your thing and you look up and you're scared. You need to be actually scared, but not too scared because you're badass. You're accepting death. All right. I'm just like, okay. None of this is real. We're in a giant room that's blue. I mean, a giant room that's blue, like 70-foot ceilings, and like half of the stuff that's there is there. There's fake asphalt and cars and stuff, and they've got a $250,000 camera on this wire rig that zips toward me at 45 miles per hour and stops 4 feet in front of my face and then goes straight up.
It's like it'd be easy to be scared with that fucking thing.
A little. And I was like, holy shit, that's Guy Ritchie. That's the guy that fucking did Snatch. That's the guy that did fucking Snatch. This is awesome. And he's over there playing his guitar and singing songs like between takes and stuff. So that was fucking neat.
That direction
I enjoyed that.
cool. I've always wondered what direction was like. Like they shoot movies and stuff out of order, and I imagine it's easy for actors to be like, you know, like, so what am I going for here? You know, like I remember the lines, but help me put it in context. And that's what it sounds like, huh?
When we did that Logan Paul movie, I felt like I was the most professional one there because, like, we're doing a scene. I'm like, all right, well, that doesn't make any sense because, like, we just walked in, right? We just all walked in together, so we would have seen the guy there, right? And everybody's like, yeah, you would have seen the guy, so you know he's there. And like, I hope that thing comes out. It's a mockery. It's a mockery to all things. Like, all right, so it's like the scary movies, right? Like it's meant to be tongue in cheek and goofy, and I'm sure like the sensitive types will be like, oh, it's so cringy, it's so cringe worthy.
I hate that.
No, it's silly and fun, and like, look, I can't get behind or in front of any dangling Japanese men. All right, like I get it, that shit's not cool, but the movie's gonna be funny if it ever comes out. It's tied up with some not only with him, dangling the Japanese man or standing in front of him or whatever, but also, that someone's holding up the trademark on the title of the movie. But when that thing comes out, it really is going to be funny. I mean, I guess I could talk about what the movie's about. It's not like I don't think I signed an NDA. Did I?
No, don't fuck it up if you did.
Yeah, don't mess that up, brother.
Actually, don't do it. What if they come after the whole show? I don't think this is a personal decision you're making.
All right, I won't do that. But
degree of separation will get closer.
yeah, they'll come after you too.
Yeah. Right.
I will say, like I've talked about it before, but Farva from fucking Super Troopers is in there. Got to hang out with him, get our
cool.
makeup done together, and 2 or 3 other like supporting actors that nobody really knows. Like, not to be offensive toward them, but you'd never know who they were in there. And I think the premise of it's kind of funny, and it's the special effects. I don't know what they're going to turn out like, but like there's a part where it was a high budget movie for what it was. There were millions of dollars being spent. There's an entire airplane fuselage being used inside of a studio and people getting sucked out of it. And there's a monkey. There, like when I texted Taylor from the set and I was like, "Guy's got a fucking monkey." He's like, "Oh, get your picture taken with it." I'm like, I don't want to fuck with that monkey. What if he goes crazy on me?
Yes.
It was like a capuchin or whatever.
Oh, you
they
should have
call
got me there. I could beat up a capuchin.
it. Oh yeah. But it was but yeah, I hope that shit comes out because it's worth watching. I think I'm gonna watch it, because a minute.
I have to see it.
I will say it was real awkward. Like there's a part where they don't give you any direction, and I'm like holding this girl hostage, and I don't know who she is. Like I'm not into Instagram people. I don't give a fuck. Like, but she's a 10. She's just smoking hot, and I'm like kidnapping this chick, and I felt like it was a little awkward. Like I didn't know if I'm supposed to have my hand over her mouth, and I'm like, I didn't wash my hand all day. I haven't washed. I was like, I bet my hands taste bad.
Yeah, you tasted it.
Yeah, I was like, I bet if I wouldn't put my hand on my mouth at this point of the day, but okay. And I'm like holding her at like knife point, and like I never know, like when they do this thing where they shoot the scene like 8 different angles, the same scene, and they don't give enough direction to let you know how serious you need to be about your part. If the camera's on your face and you need to be like in the moment, like, yes, I'm taking hostages, yes. Or if you just need to be like, I'm standing here because my shoulder's in frame. Like, you never know. So you just have to go full hog the whole time. And at one point she's like, you don't have to hold me so tight. I'm like suffocating her. And then like the camera's not even on us. But so, yeah, I hope that thing comes out. I know that Logan Paul gets a lot of hate. Some of it deserved, I suppose, but I think the movie is worth watching, and it's fucking silly, and I'm in it. And so's Vitaly.
Casey Neistat's in it,
and Casey Neistat's in it. Yeah, I wasn't there at the same time as Casey. I never saw him.
I just know he's in it because I watched his daily vlogs at the time.
On the YouTube front page right now, Logan Paul is his older brother. I did E3 with Logan Paul for a Sony campaign on Snapchat, where we basically walked around E3 and played a bunch of different games. I had a vastly different experience. Now, this was 3 years ago, so he might have matured as an adult, but he was the epitome of what you expected from somebody who got famous quick on Vine. He complained when we skipped the line to go play Destiny, when Destiny was like just at its peak, the expansion or whatever at E3, complained when we skipped the line 2 hours with Sony because we had to wait for the play session to end. So much so that he refused to play the Destiny play session that we had just skipped the line for. He was like, I'm not doing it if I have to wait. It was a 7-minute wait from the time we got there. Did not have a positive experience with Logan Paul.
This was with Logan or
Logan,
Jake?
the older brother, not Jake, the Disney Channel one. So very different. I think that Logan, from what you have said and what I've seen, he has probably matured as an adult. Jake is nowhere near there and is a garbage man. But like
garbage man.
Like that's
what
you got the better.
What did Jake Paul do that so many people dislike him for?
Ooh, he let's do this one real quick. He as a content creator is very much in the same realm as somebody who's like, hey, look at me, everybody else is an extra in my life, which is inherently obnoxious to a lot of people, including myself. The things that he does disrupts his neighborhood and his and the immediate families around him, whereas he broadcasts where his house is, allows hordes of fans to stand there and block up the roads, et cetera, who are not going to move for them. He creates content for the lowest common denominator of children, which is not inherently bad. It's just like the mantra that he keeps putting out is like, oh, like, I can't climb this news truck. Oh, you're telling me I can't? Oh, dab. Like, just like a very obnoxious, you can't touch me because I'm big personality. And you can go watch like the news stories or the videos on it and make your own opinion. But him as a person is not it doesn't seem to be a very good person.
Well, regardless, Alex Jones, you're always welcome on the program here. Can you imagine if we
Actually, maybe not.
No, of course not. We would get in trouble.
Taylor, you should just mirror his speaking style and thought patterns.
It's so good to have you on. I'm so excited to finally be able to kind of pump your mind a bit and see what ideas you have. I'm mocking you. Absolutely not. No. I smoke 3 packs a day.
Is he banned from Vimeo? Could we just upload that episode there?
Dude, that would be... Oh my God, that would be so funny. It could be really funny or it could be really not funny if he started being like serious about shit. That wouldn't be very...
You guys could have him on. He's not banned from appearing on other shows on YouTube. I'm not sure about your Twitch status. I mean, he was on Logan Paul's podcast, which isn't exactly edgy.
Was that on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It got millions and millions of views.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and he's on Joe Rogan's podcast. It's all over YouTube.
It's been a while ago. That was before the deplatforming, I believe.
Logan was after. Logan Paul's podcast was for sure afterwards.
Have you been on Logan Paul's podcast?
I wish. You know how many more subscribers and how much more money I'd have if I went on that motherfucker?
0. They're all 9 years old.
I respect that Logan Paul is pretty much admitting that he used to be a douche and putting out shitty PG kids content, and now he's having porn stars on his podcast. He's putting out videos of himself getting fucked up. He's being more honest and being more open about his actual lifestyle.
I like that. I watched More Plates, More Dates talk about Logan Paul. So I guess Logan Paul's hair has made a miraculous comeback. And he's been real honest about his hair loss. He'll show his dad. He sort of in a funny way, jokingly busts on the genetics that his father handed to him. And he would just pull his hair back and show his hairline and how it was going. And then over the course of 2 months, now he has great, luscious, thicker hair than he had before. More Plates, More Dates. If you don't know him, runs a YouTube channel. He's an expert on steroids and hair replacement and hair growth, which are counters. And he thinks he's just a hyper responder to some sort of minoxidil or something. So, anyway, yeah, I like that he poked at him, fun at himself, and didn't hide from his hair loss.
Yeah, he seems like a real douche online. But I spent 2 or 3 days with that guy, and he was just really genuine and nice.
You were hanging out with him? Guy. Yeah, where'd you guys kick it at?
In LA, he was doing this awful movie, and my network asked me to be in the movie.
So this is a real story you're telling me right now.
Yeah, this is true. The movie was called
I thought this was a joke. Okay.
Does it sound
no.
right?
What's that?
The movie, was it called Airplane?
Airplane Mode. Yeah.
Airplane Mode? Okay.
Yeah, thankfully my scenes were cut. I'm so glad they were cut. I really am.
Were they very bad scenes?
Oh, it was awful.
Did you look like an idiot?
Not like an idiot all the time, but some of the time, like Vitaly kissed me at one point, not like making out or anything, but he murdered me and then kissed me on the. I think did he kiss me on the mouth or the cheek? I don't remember. Vitaly Z, the Russian guy on YouTube that used to do a prank channel.
Okay. Now the poster boy of HGH.
More recently, he was arrested, I think, in Florida for maybe attacking a woman. I'm not sure of the details of that, but I just remember seeing his mugshot and being like, he looks crazy. Yeah, but I long story short, all of my experiences with him, really kind and hey, are they looking out for you with this and that? Are they taking care of this and that? This is gonna be really fun. And I had a couple of scenes with him and where I'm supposed to be bullying him, I'm choking him and at knife point and stuff. And he's like, really come at me, really choke me hard. And I'm like, my hand doesn't even begin to fit around your neck, dude. Are you insane? like I've got pretty big hands. It's like it would take like 8 of my hands to reach around this man's colossal fucking neck. He's so thick and like muscular. And he's just like cowering as I'm holding the knife. And I'm thinking like, he could murder me right now if he wanted to. This could be a real knife. It wouldn't matter.
My Twitch chat was saying that I could beat up Logan Paul. And it's like, I am clearly at my home field right now. Because Logan Paul would kick my ass. Not only is that guy trained, like he's an actual fighter, but he's way
Who did
bigger
he just
and
get knocked
stronger.
out by? He just sparred with which UFC middleweight? A legit one, and he got flatline KO'd, which made me respect him a
Kyle,
lot.
help me with this name. He's the very strong guy that Israel Adesanya is about to fight next.
Handsome guy.
Costa?
Handsome
Costa.
Brazilian guy.
Costa? What's
Yeah.
his first name?
Paulo?
Paulo Costa. And I think he kind of hammed up the knockout a little bit. You know,
Didn't look like much ham to me.
I don't know.
it did to me, but I could be off. You know, what do I know?
Yeah, Woody could beat up most human beings. That if he's gonna get in a fight, like at the movie theater, right? Like the average movie goer cannot take.
I agree. Half of them
Woody's
are women.
gamer tag.
Half of them are women, and right there, I
Right
like
off
my
the
odds.
bat.
Yeah, right off the bat.
80-90% of those women, he'd flatline.
What belt are you, Woody?
I'm not saying, but no, I trained for years. I didn't go for belts, but I did no gi for a while. But I'm not special. I was never special. I trained with people who were special sometimes and saw the difference. But
As in retarded kids? I trained BJJ too, actually. I don't know if we've talked about this.
Right. Are you a purple
Yeah.
belt?
I'm a purple belt.
That's legit. No, I trained for 3 years and then I took off and healed up my ACL and such. And then I came back and trained for 1 more, something like that.
Is purple right before black?
No,
There's brown between
is,
the two.
Purple is the third. So white, blue, purple, brown, black.
Brazilian
that's not
jiu-jitsu
an order of coolness. Brown should be the lowest. That's the lamest of those
The
colors.
closest to black.
and the purple's the
Says
highest.
who?
Just to show that the entire journey is.
What happened to gray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you stop trading, Danny?
I did just out of time constraints because YouTube is such a full-time operation.
Purple belt is a legit thing. I don't know if people understand what a big deal that is, but
Let's try to quantify how much straight BJJ training it takes for you to beat 95% of the people on Earth. I think once you've hit a year and a half, you're there, which is a blue belt. You're a low-level blue belt, and if you're on a soccer field and the guy doesn't have a knife, 95% of the time you can take him out if you've been training for a year and a half.
I would argue that a year and a half of training is worth about 30 pounds, maybe 40 pounds.
I happened to catch on YouTube Shorts. They do this thing with magic cards. You know, they've got the old unopened packs from the 90s and stuff. And there's always a chance that there's something in there worth, I don't know, $100,000 or something crazy. And so they sell those unopened packs for like $300.
Yeah.
But what they do is they weigh them. And they'd be like, this is a heavy one. It's 21.2 grams, not 20.9 grams. Those extra 3 grams or whatever, that means a foil. That means there's a definite foil in there, maybe 2 if it's a kumika foil, and those are a little lighter. And it's like, so people will pay for it, and then they do the slow card by card. I'd want to smear them all out on the table real quick and see what I got, but they're like, it's a YouTube short and they're monetizing this shit, so they go card by card, and I don't even know what the cards mean, but I'm like, big money, big money.
Dude, some of those are worth absurd amounts of money. Like literally over $100,000, a couple of them.
The Black Lotus, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
that's the
thinking of?
most
Yeah.
valuable. And I think
I know one thing about Magic. I don't have the first idea how to play. If you would have put cards in front of me, I don't know. But I know the Black Lotus is worth 6 digits.
that's like the only part of Magic that like is even vaguely in the mainstream of people's knowledge. If like you bring it up, they're like, "Isn't there some Black Lotus card that some retard bought for $150,000?" It's like, "Yep, that's my hobby."
Does it make you auto win? Like, why is there so much value in this card?
It's because it costs 0 and it gives you 3 mana to spend right away, which is basically like, and you can only add 1 mana to your mana pool every turn to keep it simple. And so it's basically, if I get one on turn 1 and I'm playing you, before you've even gotten a chance to put a card down, I can potentially use like a turn 4 amount of mana. It's one of those cards that like in an early strategy game, they're like, this seems like a fun idea, but they didn't think it through. And so as soon as it goes out to the player base, everyone's like, oh, well, this is beyond broken. Like, let's just keep using this then. And over time, it became more rare because everyone included it. And now it's like I have a friend who has one, spent so much money on it, and now just like he does very, very well for himself. Obviously, like he's not someone that like put his whole life into Magic cards, but there's 9 Magic cards that altogether are worth like $200,000, and he bought all. I think he has like 7 or 8 of them now.
Huh.
He just wants them.
He didn't buy them like 30 years ago, back when they were affordable.
No, he's my age, and so like he bought them like over the course of the last 15 years or so. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I remember seeing one of the Paul brothers come out. I think it was Logan with that holographic Japanese Charizard. He's wearing it around like a pendant. Like instead of wearing like some bling, he's got a $250,000 Poke card and a necklace. And I was like, that's the line. That's the tone you should strike every time you open your mouth and go in front of a camera. That like cool nerd, like cool rich pimp nerd kind of thing. Like hit all those cultural points at once, but instead he threw his dog into the front of a boat, and it almost got eaten by the propellers the other day.
Dude, I saw that, and I watched it a couple of times trying to prove to myself it wasn't into. Yeah, because I don't hate the Paul brothers reflexively. I haven't seen a lot of their content, but I like fighters by default, and but no, man, I mean, I saw the foot push the dog off the boat. There's no way not to see it like that. People don't know it was a pontoon boat. I don't know what kind of dog it was, but I'll say it weighed like 12 pounds, maybe. And he used his foot to sort of scoot it off the bow of the boat while the boat was underway. So, of course, he narrowly missed the prop as the boat ran it over. And there's nothing cool about it. I don't know.
Yeah, he risked his dog's life for a quick little internet clip that didn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things.
Is it current? Like I know I saw it recently, but I didn't know if it like came from 9 years ago.
Nah, we'd have seen that shit by now. But there's enough people that hate him. I didn't mind the Japanese suicide forest bit because to me it's like fuck. I mean, I'm in a Japanese suicide forest. If y'all have one of those here, that's kind of on y'all, not me. Like I mean, I wouldn't have felt bad about filming that at all because it seemed to me like their thing. Their problem. Was I not supposed to film your suicide forest? I didn't know. We film in hours back.
I think it was like
normal and acceptable thing to have.
I think it was more like tone that people were mad about at the time.
You didn't like the silly hat.
Not that I don't care, or not that I like invested in it, but like if David Attenborough had showed up and been like talking about the forest itself and like the spookiness and all that in kind of solemn tones, people would be like, oh, this is just a documentary. How interesting. But he like went in there with like one of those green toy from Toy Story out of the claw machine hats on. And he's like soy facing like, with a dead body behind him. And it's like, all right, this is pretty tasteless.
Not a lot of reverence in that. Oh, I want to read his reply.
Like, can you imagine if I took a vacation to Germany and I like stop into Auschwitz and I'm like soy facing around? Oh,
it's not a good look.
Wearing a fucking, a South Park hat.
Before the dog thing goes too far in the distance, and Logan Paul says, I would never, ever, ever push Broly off the boat. He jumped, and a hand was behind him, petting him when he jumped. We attempted to grab him, but for a fact, we did not push him. To my eyes, here it is on the screen. To my eyes, he pushed him with his foot. Like, that's how I saw it. I need to see the clip again and be sure I'm right, but I kept rewatching it, not wanting to see what I saw. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like he pushed him in there to me. I hope not. I don't know.
That said 4 years ago, so this is old, very old.
Yeah, it turns out it was 2020. I didn't know.
Okay. Well, I thought it was new too. Yeah, I hope not.
It's new to me.
Pupper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't push.
Yeah, I don't hate those guys either. I just didn't mind the Japanese. I didn't care. I didn't care about the Japanese. And then I met the guy that time, and he was like nice to me. And like that, oftentimes that trumps my opinions of a lot of people. Like when I met Dan Bilzerian, it was like, Dan was nice to me.
Yeah.
Me and Dan and his girlfriend got in one of his fancy ass cars and drove around Vegas and had a good time. And I thought he was an interesting person. I remember him talking about he's like, yeah, I'm gonna ruin this car. I don't care. Let's drive it in the desert. It was like a $200,000 Mercedes or some shit. They were gonna take it out in the desert just to ruin it, driving out in the desert, fucking around. He's like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. And his girlfriend's just like, no, that's so much money, this and that. And he's like, nah, we'll monetize it. It'll pay for itself. It'll be fun. And then like just him he was
I don't know. Behind the scenes, he was nice to me. Whenever people are nice to me, it means a little more than what I read on the internet.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Yeah, I get how that happens. It is hard to look at like his bit. I wouldn't want him as a business partner. It kind of looks like he took money from everyone around him and used it to fund his lifestyle.
Yeah, I don't know about his finances. I just remember, he would do those things where he would find a way to make money while getting pussy. Like he would do those bikini calendars, and he'd make it a contest. So all these women want to be in his bikini calendar that he's going to sell. So he doesn't have to pay for the models, and he's clearly fucking the models while making the calendar and then selling it and then monetizing the process of the whole thing with videos the whole time through. So it's just money and pussy coming and going. It was
kind
admirable.
of amazing. I'm not sure where his money came from though, right? Like he obviously took it from his investors and used it to fund his lifestyle and leased a home and bought cars that he trashed and stuff like that. And now all the money's gone. So I just like, oh,
Is it? It's one of those things where sometimes it's hard to tell like what's real or not, because I see him gambling. Like I see him at poker tournaments, and not just tournaments but cash games. And he's kind of a minor celebrity there too. And he throws a lot of money around, not like uber amounts, but way more than somebody who's living on somebody else's money should. But maybe it's all bullshit. I often wonder. Drake, I think, gets paid by Stake or whatever that gambling
the one Dirty
website is. Yeah, so he'll tweet, "Oh, just put $250,000 on Ronda Rousey to do the comeback and take on Amanda Nunes," and everybody be like, "Don't bet on me, please don't bet on me," because he's got such a bad record.
Because he loses so much.
But
that's clearly like a credit from Stake to drive attention.
I wonder though what the deal is. What I would want the deal to be is like, all right, you pay me $100,000 for the tweet, and then you give me $100,000 to bet with. You know what I mean? Like, well, no, we're gonna pay you the 125 like normal. No. 100. This is much better for both of us. Trust me. And so he'll place these outrageous bets on sports stuff, and I wonder if any of it's real. He's really.
I mean, the gambling sites are gonna be like, we could give you $100,000 in cash and 100 to bet, but how about we just give you $350 to bet? Wouldn't that be more fun for everyone? And then someone sponsored by a gambling company is like, yeah, I guess it would be. And then the fucking marketing manager's going back to his boss, and he's like, I got him again. Got Drake again.
It's so hard to get gambling addicts to gamble. Dude, it is. I see the pull. I see how interesting it is. And I'm secondhand. But imagine winning. Imagine making $1,000 that easily. Like it must be enticing.
Yeah, but the other side of it, imagine losing $1,000 that easily. Like I'd be just beating myself up for days. Like, you idiot! Like, what were you doing playing Plinko for real money online? Like, get a hold of yourself.
You just gotta put that out of your mind. I remember we went to that casino and like I lost $1,000 in like an hour or something. It was like, God damn it! What is this? What is this shit? It's like, I want to go home.
Man, this is why all the chandeliers here are so nice.
Yeah, you figure out right away. Yeah, it's the house usually wins. Although, we watched Dirty the other day, and he was on quite a run, hitting those numbers straight up on roulette.
Oh yeah, over the long game, that's a winning proposition.
Yeah, always bet on 21.
Is that a roulette thing people do?
No, I think Kyle came up with that number, and he didn't bet it, and it hit, and he's still salty about it, I guess.
Yeah, he's like, give me some numbers to bet on. And I gave him like 4 numbers, and they fucking hit, and he didn't bet on my numbers. I was like, you want my opinion now? The next round? No, I'm gonna keep it to myself. I don't want to help anymore.
I'm not sharing this magic.
I'm keeping 21 under tight wraps now.
Yeah, I like sports betting, but I like betting on fights. I like betting on fights because they're so chaotic, and most of the time, even the underdog's got a chance. Maybe a 30% chance, maybe even as low as a 20. There's some where it's like, I remember you and Dirty were betting one night, and Dirty wants to bet, so he's like, "You pick the fighter. I don't care. You pick the fighter. I don't care." Yeah. And Woody's like, "Okay, I'll pick the champion who's never lost, and you're picking."
That's so unfair. That is not how it went at all. First it was the Patty Pemblet fight where I think I did have, but those odds were really close.
Mm-hmm.
The next one I picked the underdog or something. The next one, like I wanted the underdog because he wanted these odds and he wouldn't give it to me. I was like, fine. And like, I'll take the side that you want. And he went for that. And
Lost everyone. Woody won every one of them.
Yeah.
It was actually me who did that to him. I remember we were watching an Amanda Nunes fight, and he's like, "Who do you want?" I'm like, "Nunes. Who do you want?" He's like, "I'll take that other that white girl who looks 17." Cool. It's just like we're watching the fight, and people are like, "You guys have money on this?" I'm like, "Yeah, dirty bet on that white girl." Meanwhile, Amanda Nunes, I don't know if she's ever lost a fucking fight. Maybe
she
early
did.
in her career, she lost one or two.
No, she lost her belt and won it back. I forget. Remember that woman? She won her belt. They wanted to like instantly give her Nunes, and she's like, "Listen, I don't think I'm old. I don't know how many fights I have in me. I'll fight anyone. You can real Brock Lesnar in here. Just pay me." And the UFC wanted her to defend her belt on the cheap, and I remember her name. I just remember the story.
Yeah, so, I don't either. But yeah, I enjoy gambling. They're doing a what do you call fantasy football in there now? In our
in the hangout.
Yeah,
I've never done that before.
I haven't either. I don't know enough about football players to do it. You can auto draft, but then what's the point?
Yeah, that's not very fun.
I did it, and I found that it's a tremendous amount of work to like put together your team every week. And so I'm like bringing up the tail in this league. I've got injured players in my starting lineup. Like, I don't think this is for me.
Yeah, I feel like I'd just be Googling as it happened. They'd be like, oh, here's a good example. I was looking for a quarterback and I was going to say John Elway.
I was a little kid when he was good.
I remember him being a big deal in like 90s sports movies, and that's most of it.
The Chiefs,
like Mahomes, obviously.
Yeah, just pick the Chiefs. That's what I would do.
If I were to name my top 5 current quarterbacks, dude, fucking Mahomes 5 times.
Like, I have a call. This is based in.
I don't know any other ones.
Bullshit, but I bet Travis Kelce falls off and people get mad at Taylor Swift. That's what I think happened.
Do you see that?
Travis Kelce is getting old for the NFL, so he's due for a drop off, right?
His brother is, right?
No, his brother retired, but even Travis is in his 30s, right?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure. So,
did you see the supposed leaked document from the PR firm?
That he was going to break up with her at the end of either August or September? Does that sound right?
It was planning how the breakup is going to go, because for a long time the conspiracy theorists have said that the whole relationship is a sham assembled by, NFL PR and Taylor Swift PR to do this multi-billion-dollar partnership by like pretending to date this guy and have this this romance. And maybe it is. If that document has any reality to it. Have you been following the Logan Paul Dylan Dennis fight at all and all the drama surrounding it?
Yes. I don't know that I've heard everything. It's hard to know.
So here's the setup.
Dylan Dennis is like fucking with Logan Paul about his wife, or not his wife,
fiance.
His fiance.
Yeah. So Dylan Dennis, sort of, you could call him an ex-UFC fighter, I guess, friend of Conor McGregor's, and Logan
notorious
Paul
troll.
Notorious troll, and he's fighting Logan Paul in this boxing match. They're sort of co-maining eventing, and KSI is fighting Tommy Fury on the same card. And they had their big press conference the other day, and it was a goddamn shit show, fucking meltdown for like a dozen reasons. Like Daddy Fury got into a rage and was like, "I'll beat any man in this room. There's not a man in here as man as I am," or some shit. And then he punched the table, but he hit it so hard that it like bowed in the middle, like a cartoon or something. And like, he got a big pop from the crowd. And he thought the crowd just hated tables. So he just starts flipping all the tables over and raging. And Logan Paul's jumping up and down, like rooting him on. It was very silly. But Dylan Dennis has been so mean to Logan Paul that people are asking, is it too mean? Is it too mean? Because I guess Logan Paul's fiance, this beautiful Sports Illustrated model, has made her rounds around Hollywood a few times. My goodness. So that's his fiance stuck on a bird with the bottom completely blown out of the bird. I'm not sure what he's implying with that, but then Dylan.
I could help you.
Montage.
Yeah. So this woman is she's smoking hot, right? She is whatever. Everyone has their own version of a perfect woman, but she's somebody's bullseye. She's very,
Sports
very good
Illustrated
looking.
model.
Yeah, right. And she has dated like a who's who in Hollywood. She's 31 years old. Shockingly, probably not a virgin. And they're just showing her kissing like celebrities,
dozens.
Some of them are musicians, and
they're showing
imagine
her
they're getting-
when she dated dozens of other men, and she's like on social media with them, or what? She's with Leonardo DiCaprio, like lots. And it wasn't just like a fan picture. They're like his hands like around her, and she's reaching up and putting her fingers interlacing into his. Like they're a couple. Like she's been fucked by every.
She's like dated like A-list people like Leah.
Dude, her list of A-listers. It might be the best list of A-listers. Like,
find the montage, Zach.
Did she have Ryan Gosling or Brad Pitt or like it's fucking like super good looking Hollywood.
I just remembered Leo and like
Leonardo. Careful about the nudity.
Shouldn't be any.
Oh, and then there are some like musicians who. Anyway, she has been around a little bit. And she's also been on podcast talking about. I'm gonna get this wrong. But like levels of exhibition. I can't get. Do I have the word right?
She said she sucked the dick at a football stadium.
Yeah. and there might have been some other
crowd?
like public sex acts that she's done too. So if you're Logan Paul, you see this and you're like, maybe I don't wish this was the topic of conversation. Oftentimes in fights, people leave family alone, but not Dylan Dennis.
Yeah, it's got to be hurting his feelings. It's just on and on and on. This is obviously just.
I don't know who some of these people are.
This is Dylan Dennis' Twitter. This is his Twitter.
So he's an ex-UFC fighter. Is he trying to get back in the mix in UFC?
He's kind of a C-level fighter and an A+ level troll.
He hasn't fought in years. And the thing he's most famous for right now is pulling out of the last fight and making a whole shit show of the event.
Pulled out.
Yeah.
Now that is something I understand in the UFC community to be very much disliked, right? Like pulling out of fights that tends to ruin your reputation.
Yeah, but I don't even think it was a UFC fight. I think he was doing one of these like silly fights like this Logan Paul thing. That's not a real fight. It's I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But it's a little it's we're not watching because this guy's the X-ranked fucking middleweight or some shit. We just want to see the freak show of Logan Paul fighting. No, I don't care how good Jake Paul is at boxing. I just like seeing him fight ex-UFC fighters who used to be really good. It's fun to watch him knock him out, honestly. I never liked Anderson Silva. Knock him the fuck out.
Jake Paul's winning me over with his pre-fight builds. Like the fighting itself, he's a great fighter. I am not terrific at judging how good strikers are, although Sugar Shane O'Malley really impressed me.
So good.
Yes, he was so good. We can circle back to that. But Logan Paul can take an L. And that is I'm finding that to be a really impressive attribute in a person, especially in a man. Like when someone lands a good verbal blow on him, he just acknowledges it, smiles, says, "Yeah, all right, that was solid. I'll give you credit for that. I like it." And it doesn't seem to actually bother him. He can take it. He doesn't care. He's just trying to sell a fight, win a fight, and I just admire the way he handles the criticism. He's fantastic at it.
Sure. The whole thing's pretty interesting. I'm gonna watch that fight now because I want to see if Logan's emotional and how he fares against Dylan Dennis. I don't know. I think Logan wins. It looks real bad if he loses because he lost his last one too. Wasn't it Tommy?
Professional athletes can't beat YouTubers. It's very rare that a professional athlete beats a YouTuber.
Yeah, you just have to pick like an ex-basketball player or a grappler and don't
you pop my bubble. I like it blowed up.
Dude, if you beat Tyron Woodley twice, I don't care if he's older. Like that's what I feel about that Conor McGregor win over Cowboy Cerrone. It's like, yeah, Cowboy was getting older, but he's still the same man. Like he might be a little bit slower, but Conor took him apart. And I saw a great clip where they pieced together where Cowboy had talked shit to Conor's face like years prior when Conor was trying to win the 45-pound strap. And he's like, "We're too big for you. We'll break you." And then it's like cut to rap music as Conor kicks him in the head and then starts just throwing that left over and over into the side of Cerrone's head until he collapses and the ref stops it. It's
Is that what happened? There was a shoulder blow or something.
Well, he broke. That was the first thing that happened. They clinched.
Okay.
Well, the first thing that happened is McGregor misses a huge left. Right, Cowboy ducks under it.
I think
I'm
this
sorry,
is a
Kyle.
fake
I'm pretty
This-
sure
I
that's it.
expected a lot more.
My goodness,
that is-
Mr. Trump. He looks. Hang on. You know what he looks
Okay.
like to me?
I'm
Looks like a
listening.
bald eagle, ready to strike. That's what I see. I see this instead of doing happy and like this is all fun and games. He's brought his game face. This is game face Trump. He's angry. He's clearly angry.
Are you sure this is real?
He's saying,
I think it
This
is because I'm seeing it on the latest on Twitter. Like it's like all over now.
All over.
"This is game face Trump."
So I saw a
wish
fake
he-
one that looked real, but
So
that's fake. I think that's the fake one.
Well, that one's
Okay.
much better than the other one.
But the other one, the one from before, I think that's real.
Get out of there.
You think it would've-
I think this is the real one. I don't love this. I think
Game face Trump.
I would rather
Game
see him
face
do
You
what
like that spin? If I were on like a panel right now, I'd be like, "That's game face Trump right there. He is fired up. He's letting America know. He's letting us know. You want to talk about dog whistles? This is an eagle's cry. American eagle's cry."
This is the
That's a
man
good
that's
line. I like
protected
that.
me. They're coming after me, and he's in the way. No, I like Tom DeLay's picture 1,000 times more, and I thought Donald Trump would bring that. But
No, I
mean,
swear to God, I
won't be my
meant
easiest
everything I just said.
masturbation
That's what I
session, but I'll
genuinely
get it
think's
done.
happening here.
What?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
I said this won't be my easiest masturbation session, but I'll get it done.
Get it done. Are you gonna come
Jacking
tribute the
off to a
president?
78-year-old man.
And then I'll tweet it out.
You're gonna come tribute the
guy.
president? Oh my God, that would be so awful.